Ask presents. Look below, you can find our link to our website, our Facebook, our podcast, all that great stuff. I'm here to talk about today my impressions of a very controversial record. Any of you out there that are familiar with anything heavy metal, whatever, you're going to know about Lulu, the collab project between Lou Reed and Metallica. A few weeks back, they had released one track called The View, and it caused a storm of clamor online. A lot of naysay, especially from, well, I imagine from Metallica fans. I honestly don't know a lot of the Lou Reed circles. I don't really frequent those websites, but from Metallica's fan base at least, a lot of trash going around. I decided to wait until I heard the entire product, as I am not your casual music listener. I understand that sometimes the sum of the parts aren't quite equal to the whole, and I respect that, especially when they're records that are hard to absorb. You know, I listen to a lot of progressive rock and things like that, where a lot of conceptual stuff that you really can't take out a piece of it. You can't really, take the bottom corner of a painting per se and get the entire gist of it. But anyway, as of I think last week, the whole album is streaming, and now I can sort of give a fair take on it. And I am the biggest Metallica fan there is, arguable, but they're my favorite band in the world, and I will stick up for them tooth and nail. But this Lulu is sort of like a bad acid trip, so to speak. It's really hard to take in. It's weird. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just strange. I do, however, don't understand the backlash Metallica's getting. I mean, they've been in the media. You can find it online, everywhere. They're reassuring fans that this isn't like a career move for Metallica necessarily on their direction of their sound, and it shouldn't be looked at as an impression of how they're going to sound like on their next record or in the future, and not to take it so seriously, basically, that it was just a fun project that was brought to them by Lou Reed, and that it is in fact a Lou Reed project. I get that, and I understand that. So me, myself, I'm not frightened. If anything, I think the next Metallica record is not going to have anything to do with this, and is going to be a polar opposite of this record. And who knows? Hopefully, they're best in a very, very long time. But with that said, what I don't understand is why they chose to attach their name to it. If they are outwardly, saying that this is a Lou Reed project and basically we're his backing band type of thing, why make it Lou Reed and Metallica in bold font on the front of the record and do all this press release stuff and promotional stuff, because I think if they would have went a route a la Pearl Jam, like they did for Neil Young's Mirrorball album, where they really were just his backing band, and they didn't plaster their name all over the front of the record, I don't think the fans would care. But then again, who knows? Maybe that's just the safe route, and we all know Metallica doesn't ever take the safe route. One might ask, what does Metallica have to gain by attaching their name to it? I mean, obviously Lou Reed hasn't had a hit since probably 1971 or whatever, and Metallica's one of the biggest bands in the world. So what would they have to benefit attaching themselves to the likes of Lou Reed? They don't. I really don't think they do. If anything, Lou Reed is the one that's going to benefit, because granted, it's getting torn apart online. There will still be more people that will go out and buy this record, Metallica loyal fans that have bought more than have bought any Lou Reed stuff in many, many years. So he, to me, is benefiting. But I don't know. That just tells me, though, that Metallica, maybe it was just an artistic choice. They wanted to branch out. They wanted to raise eyebrows, I don't think they have anything to lose from it personally, because granted, they put this out and it scares fans, even though they clearly say, hey, don't worry about the next record. Those fans, they're still going to go out and buy the new record that they are currently working on in the studio right now as we speak. It'll still get bought. You know, their fan base is pretty solid. You know, if Napster hasn't proved that, if Saint Anger hasn't proved that, you know, the list goes on and on. They've pretty much filtered out their hardcore fan base, and I think they're here to stay. But anyway, I don't blame Metallica, but the record itself is a lot to take in. I don't know, there are moments there. I mean, yeah, you might say, well, there's some good riffs there. It is Lou Reed's project, and he is the one that stinks it up. And a lot of people say he sounds like Abraham Simpson. He does. Pumping blood, you hear that, and it's just, you know, you get pictures of that in your head. I can't shake it personally. To me, Metallica was brought in a complete body of work, and they were asked to splash some color on it, you know, and they did the best that anybody could do, I think, because it's not like Lou Reed brought, you know, structured songs, you know, lyrics, vocals, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, all that stuff with, like, you know, an acoustic chord progression going underneath. He didn't. He brought a spoken word, and so with there not really being any kind of format in place, you have Metallica just sort of playing these riffs in loop, just kind of continuously, just kind of basically being background music basically to spoken word that really isn't any kind of formulaic song. So I just think they did the best of what they could do with that situation. You know, whether or not you think their, you know, hands are clean because of that, I don't know, but I don't take it seriously. But basically, I want to know what you guys think. You know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's going to affect the next Metallica record? They've already said they're influenced by the elements of no pressure and going in and knocking stuff out, because this record was sort of a jam session, a lot of one-take stuff, you know, which they're not used to. So, you know, maybe they could take the good experience from this album and sort of filter it and channel it into the next record and really come out with something great. So who knows? It might actually benefit the next Metallica record in some weird way. But do you guys think that Metallica should be accountable, or do you guys feel that, hey, it was just a side project, not to be taken seriously? If we don't like it, that's fine. If you do, that's great. And I'm still looking for the Metallica album to come out in 2012, and I'm stoked about it. Or do you think, oh my God, you know, they've done us in now? Anyway, let us know, comment below this YouTube video, or feel free to hit up the Facebook or the forums and the website and all that good stuff, and let us know there. See you later.